arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa.
Sadhu, sadhu. So I explained for you already about the systems in Buddhism. Yeah, so today I will share for you about the systems in Buddhism. So the firstly, you can summarize for me briefly about what did you watch in the video and
Um, the six realms both have different ideations or meanings behind them. The top three are the most ideal, while the bottom three are not. And also, it depends on what you do with good and bad karma in your previous life and in this life. And all of it is not permanent.
so how many realms according to Buddhism?
Do I say what it is or just the number?
Just a number,
Six.
systems. So can you mm, explain it according to your opinion, one by
Um,
one?
the bottom one, the hell realm, I believe that it's meant for you stay there for how long your bad karma was there or built up. And I believe it's a fair justice because if you get bad karma, you should pay for it. The hungry ghosts, I believe that they should stay there as the hungry ghost or hungry, but they were really greedy and they were very like wanting more and more. The animal realm is for, or people have the animal realm for, wait, hold up. Sorry. The animal realm was for the animals because they don't know what to process and stuff. And they don't know how to do tasks that we do. Um, and then there was the human realm where it depends after you die where you get good or bad karma. Um, and it's important as you create your own path in the six realms. So in the human life, you want to be as pure as possible to enter the Devas,
There was
where they're not really goddesses, but like you would classify them as like, I would say angels or like helpers.
mm, you can say that that is there was or I mean the angel is mean in the um, listed, right? But in Buddhism, maybe we just call them in the devas, in the body was or the heaven and something like celestial being,
Um, the last realm, I can't really remember the name.
Asura,
Aso, As
Asura,
Asoda,
Sura.
Asuda.
Yeah.
Weren't they like people say that they merge with another one or another realm, but people keep it as is? People say they were like warfare, right? Jealous.
Jealous for the hungry gods. So Asura realms, they just have the anger, um, hatred, and they want to make war. Okay, so I mean, you have the overview about the six realms. So I will share for you. Um, okay, wait a second. Okay, you can see my screen. You can see that clear, not clear.
Clear.
Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So you can guess what is in this picture.
Um, Buddha
Mm-hmm.
on his
And,
pillar. So
mm,
Nirvana.
mm, and yes, this is some Silensovian. I mean the Deva in the heaven. How about this one?
Are you pointing towards the hungry ghost or the
Yeah,
human?
yeah, the hungry ghost. You can see there they have the hungry ghost. Their throat is just really small, right? Very small like this, but their belly very big. That is a special their appearance. We can easily recognize their appearance through your throat and your belly, right? In here you can see that is a hell, right? The hell, and they are punished the being who are receiving the bad karma. And here,
Animal.
yeah, animal. And here,
The Arga.
here I will take for use. Asu, Asura.
Asura.
Yeah, Asura. So in Vietnamese, they call them A Tu La.
Atola.
Yeah, Atola. But in Bali word, they call them Ashura.
Ashura.
Yeah. So you can see in here we divide it in two parts, right? The higher the higher realms and the lower realms, right? The higher realm including Asuras, human being, and the Devas. And the lower realms, we also have the animal realm, the hell, the hungry ghosts. Okay, you got it? Mm, okay, so I will say let's see. Okay, can you say that? Mm, the system, right? So we also review the systems through the video and the picture. So the last time I told you already about the in Buddhism, we also have the systems. I mean that's a we call it the samsara. The samsara is mean the circle. I mean recycle of birth and death, right? It just is circle. And the six realms of samsara represent the different states of existence, and each realm reflects a particular aspect of karma. I mean, your karma will decide it to you will reborn with dreams. So these realms not permanent and are based on the action performed by being in their previous life. Right. So just is a circle of life and death. If we want to escape of that circle, we just practice and follow the Buddha's teaching, right? And only you are reborn in the human realms. You can do that. You can practice and you can liberation from the suffering. You can liberation from the cycle of life and death, right? And so um, when we learn through systems, and I will explain for you why why we just practice and uh, can escape the system in the human dreams, but another realm we cannot, right? So the first one, the realm of Deva, I mean we are called the gods. But in another theory, right? The Eastern, I mean the Western, the scientist, I mean another religion, they believe that the gods create the world, right? But in Buddhism, we have another theory about the God create the world. The gods, it means just is a one realms in system, right? Okay, so you read first.
The Deva realm is the highest of six realms, inhabited by gods or celestial beings. These beings live in great luxury, peace, and happiness. They do not face the suffering that humans experience, but their happiness is based on worldly pleasures. They are often unaware of the impermanence of their existence, as they are attached to their pleasures.
The next one.
Key concept. The Deva realm symbolizes happiness and power, but is still subject to impermanence. While the Devas live in bliss, their existence is temporary, and they will eventually fall into lower realms when their good karma runs out.
Right. The next
Buddhist
one.
in the Dhammapada
Dhammapada, yes.
Verse 178, the Buddha says, the Deva who is rich and happy, living with worldly possessions, is subject to the same fate as all beings. Explanation. The Deva realm teaches us that attachment to worldly pleasures lead us further from liberation. No matter how happy we are, everything is impermanent, and we must not forget the Forget the true nature of existence.
It's okay. So, today about realms. In the Buddhist philosophy, we also have in the Deva realms, we also have the 33 Deva realms, right? 30, 33 Deva realms. I will explain in the detail, but you just know we have the 33 Deva realms, right? So in the sixth realms, the Deva realm is the highest because they are gods, they are celestial beings. So they living in the great luxury, peace, and happiness. And the important thing in here, the happiness, their happiness, right, depends on the worldly pleasures. I mean, they enjoy, they can do whatever they want, right? Even, you know, even they no need to eat food, right? They have the powerful. I mean, for example, for in the human realms, the human being, right? When we hungry, we need to uh find the food and we eating, right? And after that, we full. But in the Deva, I mean in the gods, in the celestial beings, they just thinking, right? And when you're hungry, you're just thinking and they full. Something like that. And also in the Deva realms, even they have no sexual or something like related to the design, right? Because they're just thinking and that will appear. And so the sexual object, I mean the object related to the design appear in their mind. They're just thinking and they got it. No need to find out or in the immerse in the pleasure, right? I mean they can do whatever they want. So but um I told you the important thing in here. their happiness is based on worldly pleasure, and they often unaware the impermanence of their existence, right? Because they can do whatever they want, and they just think it, oh, that is their nature. But the nature here is impermanent. I mean, um, you know, they reborn in the Deva. It means in the previous life they doing some good karma, a lot of good karma, many good karma, and in the next life they reborn in the Deva's realm. So when they enjoy,
Um, Let me close my window. It's really loud, like
yes,
this
okay,
chatter. Um, okay.
okay. So the Deva realms symbolize the happiness and power. But the important thing here, they also experience the law of impermanence, right? So why while the Devas live in the bliss, their existence is temporary, and they will eventually fall into the lower realms. That is the key idea. They will eventually fall into the lower realms.
I have one question.
Okay.
So when they fall into the lower realms, does that mean they'll fall back to the human realms?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, of course. I mean, one by one, they will falling into the human beings. After that, maybe when they have full of anger, right? Maybe they fall into the Asura, and after that, maybe their marriage. I mean, their marriage, right? Lower and lower. They will falling into the animal, hungry gods, and in the last one is the health. So yeah, when they will fall into the lower room when their good karma runs out, right? So in Dhammapada verse, the Buddha said that the Deva who is rich and happy, but yeah, they living with worldly possession. So in here, the subject is to the same fate as our being, right? The same fate. It means when their good karma runs out, they will fall into the lower rim, the same like on another being like human, animal, or hundreds also. So you got it, the Deva realms, right? In here, the Deva realm teaches no matter how happy we are, but we should recognize everything is impermanent, and we must not forget the true nature of existence. You just imagine, right? You just imagine when the life around you always luxury, always happy, and how can you recognize the suffering, right? The same like the story, I mean the history of the Buddha, right? The Buddha, the Prince Siddhartha, he was born in the luxury as a prince. So the King Suddhodana he not not want to for the Siddhartha seeing the suffering or experience suffering. So he what did he do? Huh? What did he do? The King Suddhodana.
He wanted his son back.
No,
Are we?
just try to remember. What did he do? The King Suddhodana to avoid for Prince Siddhartha to see the suffering, to
Oh,
experience the suffering.
he trapped him inside the palace. So he technically wouldn't let his son go outside.
Mm. So he built the three palaces, right? The summer, um the falls and the winter. Oh, I'm sorry, the spring place, the summer place, and the winter place for Prince Yata, and make sure he will avoid spring in the outside of the palace. Right, right. So the same like that when you always enjoy this luxury or happiness or the bliss around you. So you cannot recognize what is a suffering, what is a old age, what is a sadness, right? So that is the Deva will dangerous because when you enjoy and when your karma runs out, your good karma runs out, when you fall into the lower realms, the chance for you to know, for you to understand, for you to uh, know how the way to liberate from suffering. That is, very difficult, right? Okay, so next realms, the realms of Asuras. We call it titans or demigods, right? You read.
The Asura realm is inhabited by powerful beings similar to gods, but who are filled with jealousy and anger. They are always in conflict with the Devas and are driven by a desire to prove their superiority. The Asura realm represents the suffering caused by pride, competition, and anger. Key concept. The Asura realm symbolizes beings who possess strength but are consumed by negative emotions like anger and jealousy. These beings are constantly in conflict, driven by the desire to assert their dominance. Buddhist teaching. In the Anguttara Nikaya AN 10.38, the Buddha says, those who are filled with hatred and anger cause suffering to others and themselves. Explanation. The Asura realm teaches us that power is not enough. If we live with anger and jealousy, we will always face suffering no matter how strong or powerful we become.
Okay, so you see, you saw in the video, right? And on the picture. The Asura realms, they have the karma in the live in the heaven, but their karma not they cannot enjoy or they cannot feeling like the devas. Even they live in the heavens, but they not have um, possible to enjoy like the Deva, right? And you can see here similar to gods, but who are filled with jealous and anger. So they are always in conflict with the Devas, right? They always conflict with the Devas and are driven by a desire to prove their superiority. So just the same like that, the old Asura realm symbolize beings who possess strength but are consumed by negative emotion like anger and jealousy. The jealousy also appeared in the Asura and the hungry gods, right? But the
So,
important thing here, huh?
so
Okay.
are they jealous of the hungry ghost? Like they want, like I'm
The
not.
je- jealousy, right, appear in both Asura and hungry gods.
Oh,
But yeah, but the Asura, um, the most um related to the Asura like anger, the first anger, and after that jealousy. So in the Anguttara Nikaya, the Buddha says that those who are filled with hatred and anger cause suffering to others and themselves. Right. So we can understand this situation. Not only that it possessed by Asura in the Asura realms, right? But also, I mean, in this life, if you make it, I mean, you action like Asura. I mean, you have the emotion like anger and jealousy so much. I mean, you created the bad karma like Asura, right? I mean, in the next life, you will reborn in the Asura realm. You can also, you need to understand that Asura realm, they have not happiness because they always feel anger and jealousy, right? So they will feel suffering, right? They cannot enjoy the happiness or something like peace because the the atmosphere or the life around them always is anger and jealousy. You got it? The next one, mm, the human
uh,
dreams.
is there any background noise? I think they're doing construction outside my door right now.
None, not yet.
Okay.
I can hear you clearly. Yeah.
3, the realm of humans. The human realm is considered the most fortunate of all the realms because humans have the unique ability to reflect on life, death, and karma. Humans experience both suffering and happiness, making it the perfect realm for spiritual practice. Humans can recognize their suffering and take action to overcome it. Key concept. The human realm is the most suitable place for practicing the Dharma because humans have the awareness of suffering and the opportunity to improve their karma and practice towards liberation. Buddhist teaching. The Buddha teaches in the Majjhima Nikaya, MN 56. It is rare to be born as a human being. even rarer to encounter the Buddha's teachings. Explanation. The human realm provides us with a rare opportunity to practice the teachings of the Buddha and work towards liberation. Despite suffering we face, we have the power to change and develop spiritually, which makes human life precious.
So the human realms, I also told you the most fortunate of the all realms. Because the humans have the unique ability to reflect on life, death, and karma. And human also experience both suffering and happiness. So make it in the perfect frame for spiritual practice. Human can recognize their suffering and take action to overcome it. So I told you already the impermanence law, right? The impermanence law, and they will also affect to the karma. I mean the karma also impermanent, right? So if you have the bad karma in this life and you are in the human realm and you cultivate, you practice according to the Buddha's teaching, right? And they will change. You will train your bad karma to good karma, right? Because the karma also impermanent, and you can change it from bad to good. But in this life, you not what's that?
Can you there? I can't hear you.
Okay. So in this life, you are in human realms, right? Can you I mean the volume.
Uh, do I go somewhere else? Just like, is
Can
there
you hear
back
me?
is there background noise right now?
But can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can. It's really loud because they're like right against my door.
Ah, okay. So let's uh concentrate, right? And we will speak louder. So you can see that in the human realms, right? We have to experience both suffering and happiness. So we also talk about the impermanence. So the karma also of impermanence if you will practice and change it, right? So if right now you have the bad karma, so if you practice, if you follow the Buddha's teaching, right, you will change it from bad to good, right? But in if in this life you are receiving the good karma, but you not practice and you do many bad karma, you will change it from good to bad, right? So what that is the reason why I told you that um okay, wait a second. Okay, back right now. So that is the reason why I told you the human realm give us the opportunity to practice the teaching of the Buddha and work towards the liberation. Right. So despite the suffering we face, we have the power to change and develop spiritually and which make human life precious. Right. So we can compare the between the uh Asura realms, the Deva realms, and the human realms. Right. Why I told the human realm, human life, precious and better than another realms. How about your opinion?
My opinion is that in the human realm, it's easy to change your path on how you want to go in the six realms. So if you continue doing bad karma, you will end up in the three bottom uh realms. But since we have the opportunity to change it, we have to change it no matter what. So we end up in a good place.
Okay, so the thing is here, we recognize that the human realms very precious and better than another realms. But the one more important thing in here, the fate, I mean the opportunity you meet I mean you can following the Buddha's teaching, right? That is the fate. Because you just imagine you are the how can I say that the rich people, right? You are living in the human realms, but you are the rich people. So the same like you live in the Deva realms. You too much money around you, not you can um buying whatever you want because you have a lot of money and you have a lot of powerful, right? So you not experience the suffering, even a little bit suffering, you not experience. So when the the Buddha, you follow the Buddha teaching and you just saw it, oh, the Buddha taught us about the suffering. You cannot experience that, and how can you practice that, right?
I have one question.
Yes, of course.
What happens to the people who don't follow the Buddha's teachings? What realm would they end up in?
Yeah, very nice question. So you just imagine, right? The Deva realms, when they enjoy and their good karma, I mean their marriage runs out, they will fall into the lower realms, right? The human the same like that, no exception, right? When they enjoy and did not follow the Buddha's teaching, right? They just enjoy their life in the luxury. I mean, uh, they do whatever they want and they create a bad karma, right? I mean, follow the law of cause and luật nhân quả. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot that.
Cause and
Uh,
effect.
yeah. Cause and effect, right? They will fall into the lower range. So in here, the important thing in here, not only they follow the Buddha teaching, right? But they do the good karma. I mean, they do the charity, they create the marriage, they helping people, right? They also reborn in the higher range. I mean, like Deva, right? Deva range. But they create the bad karma, they will falling into the lower range, right? But if they follow the Buddha's teaching, the Buddha teaching teach us the way how to escape from re- the cycle of life and death, right? If we follow the Buddha teaching, we can also escape this circle. But if we not follow the Buddha's teaching, we just create a good karma, we will reborn in the higher realms, but we not, we will falling into the lower realms. We just in the circle. We falling into the samsara, right? Luân hồi vòng luân hồi, right? We should always wandering in the cycle of life and death. That is very different from the who are escape, I mean, standing out from the cycle of life and death like the Buddha and Arahant, right? And the one who are just surrounding, I mean, just wandering in the cycle of life and death. So in the human life, I mean, if you have a faith to meet the Buddhism, you follow the Buddha teaching, and also right now you have a monk, you can practice following the Buddha teaching, and you can escape, I mean, day by day into the cycle of life and death. But you just imagine if you falling into the lower range, how can you know? How can you follow that teaching, right? Because you just imagine you are falling into the animal realms, right? How can you study the Buddha teaching? I mean, when you follow in the lower hungry gods in the hell, you always immerse in the suffering, have no second to know or to enjoy happiness. How can you know the Buddha teaching, right? So the Asura realm, you always enjoying the anger, jealousy, right? And the Deva, you always experience the luxury, happiness, and you not experience suffering. So, according to the Buddhist history, right? After the Buddha gained the enlightenment, right? I told you already the first discourse of the Buddha, he taught for the five disciples about the Four Noble Truths, right? And you know what is the first Noble Truth?
Dukkha,
Dukkha. What's mean?
suffering,
Yeah, and the second one.
impermanence,
No, not yet. The dukkha, the suffering. The second one, the cause of suffering.
The what?
The first one, dukkha, the suffering, right? The second one, samudaya, the cause of suffering. The third one,
Um, impermanence.
no,
Cause.
the nirodha. What's the mean?
The
Nirodha,
Niroda. Um, Niroda.
I remember. Nirodha, the cessation of suffering, right? And the last one, magga. What does it mean?
The cessation, the rising, the falling.
The path, the path leading to the cessation of suffering. So you remember the Four Noble Truths? The first one, the
Dukkha,
suffering.
suffering.
The
The
second
second
one,
one, the arise. No, the cause leading.
the cause of suffering. And the third one,
The cessation of dukkha.
yeah. And the
The
last
last
one,
one is the falling of dukkha.
yeah. The path leading to the cessation of suffering, right? So the Buddha preached the Dharma cause, the Dharma about the suffering. The Four Noble Truths first. So the first of Noble Truth is dukkha of suffering, right? All of us also know suffering. So the important thing here, how can the Deva realms and the rich people feel the suffering when around them always have the happiness and luxury, right?
Did
That
you
is a,
you are you asking how they have suffering like rich and devas?
yeah,
Be- Um, I think that they experience suffering by being having so much money, it will lead them to a life of luxury. But if you were to place them in a normal situation, like maybe going out for groceries, a simple task, they don't know how to do it. So they're so consumed by luxuries, they don't know how to do daily tasks.
yeah, of course that's good, yeah. So you got this human realms that is very significant, right? The next one,
The realm of animals. The animal realm is a state of ignorance and instinct. Being born into this realm are driven by basic needs such as hunger, fear, and survival. They lack the understanding of Dharma and are unable to make decisions based on wisdom. This realm reflects beings who are stuck in a cycle of mindless action, unable to progress towards spiritual growth. Key concept. In the animal realm, beings are governed by instinct and have no awareness of the true nature or the teaching of the Buddha. Their actions are based on survival, which leads to suffering. Buddhist teaching in the Dhammapada, verse 179, the Buddha says, an ignorant person is like an animal, subject to the whims of nature and worldly desires. Explanation. The animal realm teaches us the importance of wisdom and understanding. Without wisdom, we are like animals, acting out of instinct and unable to progress on our spiritual journey.
So the animal realm. So we can easily recognize the animal, right? Because the human realm and the animal realm, we are live together, right? So being born into this realm, we are deriving by basic needs such as hunger, fear, and survival. So can you answer for me what is the difference between the human and the animal?
Can you repeat that again, please?
Okay, so what is the difference between the human and animal?
Humans can change their paths and they also could understand the Dharma in the Buddhist teaching, while animals act on instincts purely and also they don't have wisdom to know what they're doing. So technically clueless about the Dharma in the Buddhist teaching.
Yeah, just one thing, just basically. Okay, so we not mention about the Buddha teaching, right? In the basic level, when we talk about the difference between the animals and human, it's just one word: awareness, right? The human, we have the wisdom, we have awareness about ourselves, we can control ourselves, but the the animal, they have not, right? So the big difference between the human and the animal is awareness, is the wisdom, right? The human, we can control ourselves, we have wisdom to learn, to study, right? But the animal not. So if you are a human being, but you have no awareness, right? You falling into the ignorance and you acting like animal, right? So even you are live in the human body, but you acting like animal. You understand? So some people, you can see here, the being are governed by instinct and have no awareness of their true nature or the teaching of the Buddha. Their actions are based on basic survival. Here, basic survival. The action of animal just based on basic survival and which lead to suffering. So the Buddha teaching us like an ignorant person is like an animal, right? Subject to the whims of nature and worldly desires. So in animal realm teaches us the importance of wisdom and understanding. Without wisdom, we are like animals, acting out of instinct and unable to progress on our spiritual journey. So you can recognize the importance of study, right? And why you need to study, why you need to follow the Buddha teaching, why you need to learn more and more, right? If you have knowledge, if you have no knowledge, right? You have no knowledge, you have no study, you have no even a little bit not mentioned as a Buddha teaching. right? It just mentioned about the knowledge about in the life, right? So you just acting like the animal, right? So you are like animal, not human, right? So you need to learn more and more, and that will show by your action, right? Your action in daily life, your action in every, I mean the every moment. You just reflect on yourself, reflect on yourself, and consider what should you do or what should not you do.
What you should do is take the Buddhist teaching and learn it to understand how to escape the or to understand how to get good karma and to understand the wisdom and the teachings of Buddha to get us into a higher realm.
Okay. The next one is the hungry goat.
The realm of the hungry ghosts. Veda. The hungry ghost realm is characterized by beings who are overwhelmed by insatiable desires. These beings have huge bellies and tiny mouths. So no matter how much they try to eat, they can never satisfy their hunger. The hungry ghost realm represents the suffering caused by unfulfilled cravings and attachments. Key concept. The hungry ghost realm symbolizes beings who are never satisfied, always craving more, but never able to attain what they desire. They're trapped in the endless cycle of craving. Buddhist teaching in the Samyutta
Samyutta,
Nikaya
Samyutta,
SN 22
Samyutta Nikaya.
Sam Samyutta Nikaya SN 22.94. The Buddha says, one who is always greedy and never content lives in torment, much like the hungry ghosts who cannot satisfy their hunger. Explanation. The hungry ghost realm teaches us the consequences of attachment and uncontrolled desire. We must learn to let go of our cravings and practice contentment to avoid the suffering experienced by beings in this realm.
So the next one is the realms of hungry goats, right? So who are overwhelmed by insatiable desire. They being have huge bellies, right? Huge belly and tiny mouth. That is important appearance we can recognize through their appearance, right? So no matter how much they try to eat, they can never satisfy their hunger. So the hungry realms represent the suffering caused by unfulfilled craving and attachment. So in the Samyutta Nikaya, one who is always greedy and never content lives in torment, much like the hungry goats who cannot satisfy their hunger. Right. So after in the chanting sutra section, right? After finish the sutra, we also have chanting a small sutra for I mean, sharing merit for the hungry goat, right? And we also see that in the sometime in our monastery, we also uh, I mean organize the Dhamma retreat. I mean not Dhamma retreat, but Pháp hội, right? And in the Pháp hội in Koto, right? In the retreat, we also have some monks, right? Some monk they doing ritual for sharing the food for hungry goats.
What
So we
about
also
um
we also
sorry.
call that hungry goat in ngạ quỷ or cô hồn, right? Ngạ which means the hungry goats they always feel hunger, not they never feel satisfied the hunger. So that is the reason. So why we call them ngạ quỷ.
Why how come we offer food to them but they want more and more?
Yeah, that is the key idea. We just practice compassion, right? Our compassion, and we practice since the Buddha teaching, and we just share for them, but they never feel satisfy their hunger. So that why they always living in the hungry ghost strength. When they have I mean when they feel enough, I mean when they feel enough, they will reborn into the higher realm. But that will not happen because that is their karma, right? So the in here the hungry ghost teaches us the consequences of attachment and uncontrolled desire. We must learn to let go of our cravings and practice contentment to avoid the suffering experience by being in this drift. Right? You just imagine in this life, you never feel enough, you never feel satisfied, right? You just mm, falling into attachment, falling into uncontrolled desire or craving, like they will falling into this stream in the next life. So the last one, wait a second. The last one here.
Six. The realm of hell. The hell realm is the lowest of six realms where beings experience extreme suffering. Those born into this realm are tortured for their harmful actions. The hell realm represents the result of severe negative karma and the suffering that comes from destructive actions. Key concept. The hell realm symbolizes the ultimate suffering resulting from negative actions and severe karma. Beings in this realm undergo intense physical pain and torment as a result of their past misdeeds. Buddhist teaching. The Buddha warns in the Anguttara Nikaya AN 410.47. The one who kills, steals, lies, and engages in other harmful actions will suffer in the hell realms. The hell realms reminds us of the importance of moral conduct and compassion. Our actions have consequences, and if we harm others, we'll face the painful results of our negative karma.
So the last realm is the lowest realm of the six realms, where we experience extreme suffering. I mean, when you do the bad karma, right, you will be in the hell, extreme suffering. So, in the hell, symbolize the ultimate suffering resulting from negative action or severe karma. So you can see some video that describe about the how the health, I mean the progress of health, right? When you falling into the hell, you will endure many extreme suffering punishment. Depends on your karma in the previous life, right? Many extreme suffering. The same like who kills, steals, lies, and engage in other harmful action will suffer in the hell realm. So that is the reason why the Buddha teaches for the lay Buddhist about the five precepts, right? And for the novice monk, the 10 precepts. And the monk, we have also have 256 precepts for the monk, for the bhikkhu, right? If you mm, doing your bad karma or you not uh, keep the precepts, right, you will fall into the hell. So you just the symbol, I mean the basic theory, the hell is just the lowest realm, and where you will experience extreme suffering depends on your karma, your action in the previous life. Just is right. So when you falling into the hell, that will, I mean, the chance or opportunity for you to reborn in the higher realms, that will not happen. Right? You should imagine. So you should imagine when you got sick, right? In just human being, right? When you got sick, right? You not feel well, right? You not want to do anything. You just want to take a rest, right? Because you got sick and your body not health, not well, and you don't want to do anything. You just need to rest for uh recover your health, right? And you take medicine. This is example, right? When you got sick, you cannot study, you cannot doing anything, right? So you just compare in the health, the place where you always endure the suffering, right? So how can you practice the Buddha teaching, or how can you have the good deeds in your mind? That will difficult, right? You understand? So the sixth realm of samsara help us understand the consequences of our action, thoughts, and desires. Each will reflect a different aspect of life, from the highest choice of the gods to the deepest suffering in the hell. However, all these realms are impermanent and bound by the cycle of samsara. So the Buddha teaches that through the Noble Eightfold Path, we can transcend three streams and reach the nirvana, the state of perfect liberation. The key is to develop wisdom, morality, and concentration, freeing ourselves from attachment, hatred, and ignorance. So, this is a question for you. Which realm do you feel most influenced by, and how can you practice the Dharma to move toward liberation?
Um, I feel like I want to go to the Deva's realm so I could start trying to learn and study harder on the Buddhist teachings to help move me to more wisdom, more knowledge, and then I could try applying those to others and incorporate them into my life to gain good merit and to help others.
So, in summary, we also learn about the six realms, right? So, the important thing here, the six realms also appear in this life. You can imagine that. So when you enjoy in the luxury and happiness, that is the key aspect of the Deva-Gods, right? So when you feel anger and jealousy, that is how can I say that the cause leading to the Asura realms, right? When you feel hungry or never satisfied your attachment, right? That is this leading to the hungry ghost. And when you have no wisdom, you falling into ignorance, right? You are human, but you acting like animal. That is a bad deed leading you to the animal realm. And the last one, when you do like killing, stealing, or lying, right?
The hell realm.
Just the hell realm. So do you believe the sixth realm existed? So that's it mentioned in the sutra. And the Buddha reflect on this word, right? And we also have know about the sixth realm. So right now, we are living in the human realm. So that is a chance for you to. So right now, you even have the human body, right? You have was born in the country where I mean enough the living condition, right? Like the study condition, the life condition, that's enough. And the one more important thing,
You are an Taoist monk. You know the Buddhism. And you are on the way follow the Buddha teaching. Right? That is a great faith for you to practice. You know, have some people like your friend, even your friend who are the same age with you, right? The same country, the same region. But have some people, they don't know the Buddhism. They don't know the Buddha teaching. They just enjoy in this life, right? And maybe they don't know where they will reborn in the next life, right? So you just imagine when in the next life you reborn in the animal realm, like you reborn in the dog. How can you remember in the previous life, right? So even in this life, you are reborn in the human being. And we even not remember in the previous life of us, right? That is the key idea. So we need to practice more and more. And we learn. And maybe in the next life, we practice in many, many lives, right? And we can escape the samsara, right? Don't let your life in the next life will fall into the animal, a hungry gods, or even the hell. So your opportunity to reborn in the higher realm very difficult. I mean that thing will never happen. So that is the thing I want to say today. Or you can understand overview the system. I mean the Buddhist cosmology, right? You understand all of this. Okay, thank you for your joining today. So right now we off the class.
Nguyện đem công đức này hướng về khắp tất cả đệ tử và chúng sanh đều chọn thành Phật đạo. I want to share my merit for all sentient beings and for us to follow the Buddha's teachings to help us reach enlightenment.